Hi everyone, Lorna here. Hope you're all well. I've just been thinking about how in the past, when the Messiah was coming, like with Moses, how the Pharaoh at the time ordered mass genocide on all the newborn babies, and and how with Jesus, King Herod ordered the genocide, and it just makes me think about how around the time, how there were so many people around between the 50s and the 60s in particular who were put on this MK program, and but it also got me thinking about the lowering of consciousness around that time and how they did that. So I was looking up fluoride and when that was brought in, and because it all, look, I'll just go back to a story about a personal story about my my own children and the VX, the problem with the VXs with my own children. So my son, when he was about 18 months old, he had his MMR. I mean, back then I just went along with what, the system told us to do. And because I hadn't done any of my own researching. But he had his MMR, and he appeared to, the day after, he appeared to have had like a mini stroke kind of thing. He just went a little bit like slow. He couldn't, his motor functioning was off, and he'd pick up a toy and look at it like he'd never seen that toy before, and riding his bike, his little trike, was a difficult task, etc. He came out of it to a certain extent, but my mother's intuition was screaming at me that, it was a reaction to the vax. Sorry, you said the word naughty. This is just my own personal experience, and for entertainment purposes only. So I went to the doctors with him, and of course the doctor blew me off, saying there's nothing wrong, everything's fine, as they do, and that was that. But he did develop dyslexia and struggled at school, etc. And as did my two older children, and they have all sorts of autoimmune problems. So, one with thyroid, one with polyps, and my son has learning difficulties and etc. So, due to all of that, I started researching into the VX. And so when my next child was born, I had decided not to go down that path, and which was difficult even back then, and we're talking 26 years ago. So I had to get exemption, saying it was due to my religious belief, that I didn't do that, otherwise she wouldn't have been able to go to school, etc. But that daughter is a straight A student, no illness, strong as an ox, and you can't tell me that that's not from from the not VXing, just the complete difference in them. So there was that, and possibly that's another reason why they did target her as well and tried to take her out recently, last year. So going back to the genocide of the Pharaoh with Moses, and King Herod in Jesus' time, etc. it would be really frowned upon in this day and age if they, you know, decided to genocide all the newborns that they knew that at that time were coming in with a higher consciousness, and those in the know, the powers that were, the D-Leaps decided to go about it in this way, lowering the consciousness. So around that time when that happened with my son as well, I picked up a book called what was it called again? It was the Dumbing Down of America, among many others. When I research hard, so I was getting books from universities and all the rest of it, and finding out, you know, where the VX started, etc. So I did some deep dive into that, and then that led me to deep dive into fluoride, and that also started around that same time. Like the heavy push towards the VX started around that time, and also, in a way, I'm kind of glad that I had neglectful parents, because I'm sure that I wasn't VX'd properly. So, you know, there's always a light in the dark, isn't there? But yeah, the fluoride at that time as well was amped up, and I found out that the town I was living in actually introduced it in the year of my birth. And then there was, of course, we all had a mouthful of mercury fillings given to us, which is also dumbing down, because you've got all those heavy metal toxins going through your body, etc., all the time as well. So yeah, just putting two and two together and all the pieces together. But yeah, that's my own personal experience with within my own family unit. When I decided not to VX my youngest one, and huge, very intelligent and healthy as an ox. So that's why I chose not to take the VX that was offered to us just recently, and I do believe that that's part of the dumbing down, because they know that there's a massive shift in consciousness, and I do believe personally that that's the reason why they brought that in. And well, I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but it would be interesting to know if you do agree with the VX program. And I mean, it was pretty hard hitting, that one, wasn't it? But I do believe that that's really what it's all about. The powers that be know that there's a huge shift, and they are doing everything they can with poisoning the food, fluoride, the VXs, etc., all of that. And anyone who's against it is red flagged. I also believe that's the reason why I was so heavily targeted from a little kid. I'm just recently been having, as I said in one of my previous videos, I've been going through therapy for probably 1.5 years now. It's only been over the past nearly a year now that I found out about targeted individuals, and realised that's what's been happening to me through my life. There's been too many events that were just, you know, when you look in the past, it was orchestrated. I also have some cloaked memories. I have a memory of a neighbour and my neighbours, and look, this is before I was 7, so there's not many memories that I have from that young. But I do remember being at a neighbour's a lot, and I remember banana sandwiches, and I do believe that it's a cloaked memory. Interesting enough, someone put up, it just randomly came up on my feed, David Wilcock, a video of him talking about that he had uncovered a cloaked memory, and that was hidden under banana sandwiches. So it set something off in me, and yeah, so that memory's ready to come back. So probably part of the SRA that I went through. So it'll be interesting, and I'll keep you updated on that. I did actually see my therapist yesterday, and she said when memories like that start to come up, you just have to give it time. It'll come up on its in its own time. So, I've just been meditating on that, and see what happens. Yes, but yeah, a mouthful of amalgam fillings, mercury fillings by the age of 10, and I mean 8. I had 8 mercury fillings. There's no way that a 10-year-old's teeth could have been that bad. And like I said, fluoride was all introduced, like actually on the year of my birth, in the town that I lived in England and Ireland I lived in. And yeah, anyway, so I think that's it for today. That's why I don't drink. I take fluoride. I have filters that take fluoride and all the rest of the garbage out of my water. I will not ever get a VX ever again. And I'm in the process of trying to round up some money so I can go to a holistic dentist and get some dental work done. And get the rest of these mercury fillings out, because mercury doesn't go away. It even 50, 60 years on, it will still be pumping those toxins, those heavy metal toxins through your body. So yeah, so it's all a process and it's all unveiling, and thank you for walking with me on this journey of unveiling. And I'm trying to zoom in. There's a little bird just sitting under that tree over there. He's got a little nest. I don't know if you can see him. Yeah. There he is. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, wherever you are, and God bless you all.